Hello everyone, I'm Yusuf from Techno Study. This class we're going to be learning about arrays. So, arrays are like boxes, and those boxes always store a value. It's like variables, but it's like variables can store only one value, and arrays can store more than one values. And in order to reach these values, you cannot call them by variable names, but you can call them by 0, 1, 2, 3. Let me show you what I mean. So in order to initialize an array, you have to first put a type for it, like string, integer, char. So I will do the basic and integer. I'll say int, and we have to give it a name for our array. So my array's name will be array, or I can do example, not to confuse you guys. And now, so far it's like a variable, but right now I have to put these square brackets. These square brackets make this example variable an array. Now, this example name is an array. Whenever I call this, I can put in a value, but I cannot just not print line this. I'll show you in the future. So example array, and then there are two ways to initialize this. One is without putting inside, without initializing basically, and one is declaring. So if you don't put any values in it, if it's integer, it will be 0. If it's a string, it will be null. If it's a char, it will be null. So let's not put value for this time. And how we initialize this is we will say new, and then we will say the type of it again, int. And you see here, it shows us what we want to have. We press enter, and then we put here, and then now we have to put a length for it. We cannot change the length in the future. We have to come back here, and then we can change it after we use the code. We cannot change it here, like after the code is being used, we cannot change the length of it. So let's say 5 here, and if you want to print out a value from our array, we cannot say example. This does not work. If we print this out, it will give us a value that only the computer will be able to understand, and we will not be able to understand, because this is the value that the computer stores inside of it. If you want to get the 0th, so let's get into that. So this array's length is 5, which means there are five variables in there. But the thing is, if you want to call the 5th, you have to press 4, because the thing is, the first index, the first number is 0th number, the second is first, the third is second. So it goes on and on like this, and there is no 5th. This is the 5th because it starts from 0. So you always have to keep this in mind. The array's first index, when we say first index, I will write it in the other form, and let's actually write it right now to show you. Example 2 array. The second way to write this array is putting curly braces, just like in classes and methods. We put curly braces here, and then we fill our array. But the thing is, we cannot add more things to our array if we do it like this. It has to be fixed. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if we do like this, the 0th index is first. The first index is this. Second index is this. Third index is this. Not the third number, but the third index. So indexes, which we call here, will start from 0. But in the array, when we count this, it's going to be first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So if I say I want to print out second index, 0, 1, 2, so it's 3. Let's see it. And as you see, it says 3 right here. So if you want to print out every value in the array, there are various ways to do it. So first way is the easiest way, is importing the arrays class. So what is arrays class? There are a couple of things that you can do with arrays class, but this class we're going to be talking about only this toString class. So when I say arrays, you see java.util.arrays. So when I press this enter, It says import java.util.arrays. It's like java.util.scanner or random. It's like all of them are same. It's same from the same packages. So if you say arrays, then you can press dot and then see you will have various methods right here. You can use any of these, but this class we're going to be using the toString. So I will press the string and then I will say example2 because this is our filled array, and I will comment this out and print this. It's going to give me in the square brackets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I say print me the other one, the empty one, it will give me full of zeros. So as you can see, this is one way to print an array out. The second way is just like we do it in this time. We're going to be using a for loop, and it's going to print us out without the square brackets. Let me show you what I mean. So let's say for I, and for I from 0. So what do we want from our array to run from here to here? What is the number we have to put here? It's 5, right? Because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's not going to print out the 5. So this should work. And let me put out system.println example2. Now, what is the thing that increases from 0 to 5? It's our I value, right? Because our I value will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4. So I will put out here I, and then our I will be able to get every 0th value. The second one is going to get the second value, the third one, and it's going to print out every value in the array. And because I print line, it prints me like that. I will put like a space here so you guys can see it better. Here, as you see here, I have it in the form without square brackets, without commas, and I can do whichever I want. I can even do this. If I say plus equals 2, it will give me only 1, 3, 5, as you may see here. So this is another way to print that out. But in general, when you write an array and when you want to print out an array with a for loop, you don't put 5 because you don't always know the length of an array. So what you put here is another method, which is we will put our array's name, example2 dot, and here as you see length, right? When I click on length, it automatically runs until 5. If I even change this to 6, I don't have to change this to 6. It automatically changes because it gets the value from the length of this. So when I run this, let me show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are one last and easiest way to print it out. I wanted to show you this and this ways to show you basically for you to know, but the easiest way to print out an array is another for loop, but not like 2 nested for loops. What I mean is a new for loop. So we will say for. When I say for, it just lets me write it like it's I, right? But if I don't say for and continue, it gives me for I, which is this. I told you in the previous class that when I click on for I, it gives me automatically this. But when I say for, it gives me one more. It says for each. When I click on this, it gives me 2 lines. This is another way to write, but I prefer writing like this. So you see here, it gives me 2 spaces. 1 is the value that I put. 1 is the value that it gets. Let me show you what I mean. So what do we want from our array to get it from? We want our array to get the values from example2, right? So I will say example2. That's it. So what is our array's type? It's an integer, right? So now here I will declare a new integer value. I can say int techno. What this does is it will create a new variable called techno here, and then it will give the first value to techno. And I will say system.println techno. example 2's zeroth index will be techno in the first round, and it will print it out. And second round, it will give the first value to techno, and then it will print out again, and then it will do it again and again and again. And let me comment this out to make it clear for you, and delete this print line and put a space here so I can make it more clear for you guys. And you see, it does the same exact thing. It just gets the example 2's values one by one and gives it the techno, and then prints it out. We don't only use this array for printing out, we can also use this for example, sum it up. So it will give the techno example 2's values, right? So we can fill all the values inside one variable. So let's create a variable here. Int a equals 0. And let's say a plus equals techno. Do you remember what this means? This means that a equals a plus techno. So a's value is 0, and then 0 plus what is techno in the first round? 1. So it will give 1, and then a will be 1 now. And then the second round, 1 equals 1 plus, what is this? 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. A equals 3. And then 3 plus 3 is 6, and so on and so forth. And let's print out at the end, because if we put it inside, it's going to print out every round, because it's a loop and it runs every time. So I'll say print out A for me, and it's going to print out 21 for me. And that's it from our arrays class, guys. We'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.